In the history of the Oakland Police Department, has there been a day like today? 5 Oakland police officers were shot this afternoon, and tonight 3 of them have died, and a 4th is in grave condition at Highland Hospital. The 5th officer was grazed by a bullet but not seriously injured. It all began when 2 motorcycle officers pulled over a Buick in East Oakland at about 1:15 this afternoon. Police say the driver opened fire and both officers were shot. One of those officers died. 2 hours later, 2 more officers were shot, both killed after a SWAT team located the gunman at an apartment building just a few blocks away. That's where the 5th officer was grazed. The SWAT officers killed the gunman. The first shootings occurred during a traffic stop at 74th Avenue and MacArthur Boulevard, just a few blocks from OPD's Eastmont substation. The other shootings occurred at 74th Avenue and Hillside Street.
Investigators say 2 Oakland police motorcycle officers were shot, one of them killed after the 2 made a traffic stop at 73rd and MacArthur at 1:08 in the afternoon. Massive manhunt was immediately launched, and within 2 hours, a tip led police to the gunman, who had barricaded himself inside an apartment building just a block away from the initial shooting. Oakland SWAT moved in. There was an exchange of gunfire. The gunman was killed, but so too were 2 more Oakland police officers.
When officers arrived on the scene, they discovered 2 officers suffering from apparent gunshot wounds, and they were quickly transported to Highland Hospital. While investigating the incident, the Oakland Police Department received information on the location of the suspect. When officers gained entry into the apartment, they were immediately fired upon by the suspect with an assault weapon. 2 officers sustained fatal gunshot wounds, and a 3rd officer received a minor wound, a graze wound to his head.
Let's go over to Bancroft and over to MacArthur, 73rd over to 79.
Oakland police closed off several city blocks around the scene of the first shooting, located at 74th Avenue and MacArthur Boulevard. This is where the motorcycle officers had been shot after a traffic stop, which occurred just after 1 p.m.
I just heard some loud shots, like boom, 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 and I'm like, what is that? I knew it was gunshots because it did not sound like firecrackers.
3829, suspect is a male black, 5'8", 150 pounds, all black clothing, light skin, wide-rimmed glasses.
The suspect fled and the search began inside the cordoned-off area, a search which lasted for about 2 hours. And then at 3:15, police started to run with guns drawn, sweeping past a family on the sidewalk as officers moved into position around an apartment building 1 block from the original shooting scene. A tip led officers to the building where the suspect had barricaded himself inside. As SWAT officers moved on the suspect, 2 more Oakland officers were shot. Moments later, the SWAT armored car with at least one of the injured officers inside emerged from the crime scene and stopped. Paramedics from Oakland Fire jumped inside the armored car, which then raced to Highland Hospital. For another 15 minutes, officers continued to surround the apartment with guns drawn until word was received that the suspect had been shot dead. It was only then the horror of this day could be seen on the faces of those officers on scene.
These guys take a pretty high-risk chance coming out here to protect us, and look how we do them. Look what happened.
Our hearts go out to the families that at this very moment are experiencing a level of tragedy and loss beyond our ability to comprehend nor to express in words.
Police say the man who killed the officers is 27-year-old Lavelle Mixon. The Oakland resident had a no-bail warrant out on him. They say he was on parole for an assault with a deadly weapon. Acting Chief Jordan said the 2nd motor officer who was shot is in grave condition tonight. All 3 officers who were killed were sergeants.
And Oakland police tonight identified the officers who were shot today. They are 40-year-old Sergeant Mark Dunnigan. He had been on the force since 1991. 43-year-old Sergeant Irvin Romans. He had been an Oakland police officer since 1996. 35-year-old Sergeant Dan Sakai, who had been on the force for 9 years. All 3 of those men died today. 41-year-old Officer John Heggie is hospitalized tonight in grave condition. Police did not name the 5th officer, who they say was grazed and less seriously injured.